Hello, this is Grandma's Gone Gaming. I'm going to try something a little bit different tonight. I am doing a tutorial about how to use house plans to give you some inspiration to build something new in The Sims 4. You could use many of the same techniques and at least the same beginning for Sims 2 and Sims 3, but one of the nice things about Sims 4 is that you can resize your window. Right now this is the way I usually have my game. Well, actually, it usually is, there we go, my whole window like that. Um, and I play it windowed on purpose so that I can go back and forth to things that I have open and things that I want to find to help with other parts of the game or check email or whatever. But I thought, it says that you can resize the window, and you can, like I just showed you can move that around. But in Windows 7, you can also just pull your window over here like this, and then it will take up half of the space of your monitor, and then you can have something open on the other side. And if you wanted to, you could also adjust that size and make one size smaller or the other. But at any point you can restore the half page like that by just pulling your window to the edges. So I'm going to be using this 40 by 30 lot in one of my empty lots worlds. And if you don't know how to empty an entire world and save it for your own use, you can watch one of my other tutorials that are also in my YouTube channel. But I'm going to go ahead and go into this slot here, and I'm going to go into build. And this will be the lot that I'll work with. And as you can see, there's still plenty of room to work. And I can still see my catalogs here, and they resize so that I can just scroll through them. That's no problem at all. So what I'm going to do is leave this up here for the moment, and then we're going to go find a floor plan that will give me some inspiration. Let's just say that I have no idea what I want to build on that lot. I just need some help. Sometimes I get good ideas, sometimes it's like builder block. Okay, so if you do a search, I've just done a search for floor plans, and I'm using Bing, but you can use any search engine that you're familiar with or that is your favorite one. And you just put in floor plans, you'll come up with all sorts of things. The first thing that usually comes up are some ads, and we don't want to go to anything there. We just want to look down through here, scroll through what else is in here. And this one says www.floorplans.com. It says browse thousands of floor plans, etc., etc., etc. And it gives you some choices. And when you go there, you'll see the choices laid out even easier for you to find what you're looking for. Then you have things like houseplans.com, eplans.com, dreamhomesource.com, thehousedesigners.com. I haven't actually gone to that one, so I think that's one we're going to go to in just a moment. But I'm going to scroll over here so I can see this. Up here, it also has related searches, at least in Bing, and I think Google does pretty much the same thing, where it says design your own floor plans. That's not what we're looking for. And you can find a place that has one-story open floor plans, and then there are some makers of the floor plans: Mitchell Homes, Clayton Homes, Edge Homes. So you could use those links as well. But I think we'll just go ahead and go to the one that said, what was that one here? Thehousedesigners.com. And I'm going to open a new tab. So I can leave these choices open here, and then I'll go to the new tab, and we'll just see what this looks like. And I think I'm going to, right now at this point, I'm going to pull this over just a little wider here. I don't want to register, I just want to look at their things. And it is set up, looks like, pretty similarly to most of the other places. It'll give you usually a featured house up here, so you kind of get a good idea of what type of plans you might be able to find here. Here they have free home building organizer, all sorts of ads that you could use. But it says see designs exclusive to our site, view our newest home plans, finest collection of small plans. Now that doesn't look like a real small one there, but I'm going to open that in a new tab also. Okay, let's make that happen. There we go. And get PDF home blueprints in minutes. Give your front entry timeless appeal. Don't really want to do any of those things. Blueprints for realtors. Okay, so let's just kind of go to that the small plans, and then we'll also look at the newest plans, I think. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the small house plans that are listed by this site, and as I expected, there are some other things to choose from on here. Again, these don't look like really small house plans, but that one looks really cute, that house plan there, but it's not something that I could really build in The Sims 4, not at this point anyway. It has some elements to it that I wouldn't be able to duplicate. I could, I could probably get some inspiration from it. Ooh, I like that one. I like the way that rock entryway is on there. Let's see. Let's go to, here's just a real simple small house plan. I'm going to open that one where it says view. I'm going to do that in a separate tab also, and I've done that. I'll go there in just a second. This one has to be on a hill, and we can't do that yet in Sims 4, so I'm going to skip over that one. Let's just pick one more so we'll have something to choose from. Again, these don't seem very small to me. We'll go on to the next page and see if we can find one more that looks kind of interesting to build in The Sims 4. That one could be kind of interesting because we can do a lot of stuff with roofs, and it looks a little bit more complicated than I want to deal with right now. This one, no, I don't think we'll go there. A little bit too much. I just want to stay fairly simple. Oh, that is lovely. I like that one, but don't want to go that complicated either. Let's take this one right here, and we'll just open that in the same tab. And then I'm going to go look at this one. This kind of looks like a little fairy tale house, maybe. Really cute. And let's see, let's look at another view of it here. Should come right up with that. There we go. Yeah, that is really nice. It has the porch area on it. Yeah, it's simple. And then let's see. Oh, it's made to be on a hill. Well, we can't do that, but we could maybe do the one floor. Let's take a look at the floor plans. Usually they are down below here. So it has the floor here, the main floor plan, and the second floor plan, which we could use those. And then if you have a walkout basement, you could also add these things. So let's just go with these first two parts here. First of all, what I would normally do would be to open up, usually right click on the picture, and that won't let me do it. So in Windows 7 we have the snipping tool, and you can open that. It brings up this kind of a grayed out screen, and I want to make a rectangular snip, so I choose that. Then I can go over here and I can pick this up just like that, and it brings it up in a window that I can then copy it and put it into something where you could print it. Now, this time I'm not going to print because I'm going to have these windows open next to each other. So I'll go ahead and bring this window over to the same size that it was, so it's close to my other window, so when I go back and forth I'm not going to overlap. Just a little bit more. Here we go. Alright, so I'll have that to look at there. I can go back and forth looking at that picture, from this picture to this picture, and go right over here, and I can still see this. So that is really handy to have there. So the first thing I want to do when I'm over here in The Sims, I want that just a little bit wider, there we go, is I need to know approximately how large this is going to be. A blueprint will give you dimensions, and I have a little tool. I'm going to go find that tool right now in my desktop, and I'm going to go to my TS4 shortcuts, and I have a spreadsheet that I picked up a long time ago from somewhere. I have no idea where. I think it was back with Sims 2, and like I said, I have no idea where it came from, but it's very handy. Somebody's husband designed it for her. And what I'm going to do is make this spreadsheet available to you on www.neighborlysimscraft.com, and I can put that in an area where you can find it under Sims 4 tutorials. It comes in really handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the master bedroom here, and I'll just put M like that. And then I'm going to type in, it says it is 14 feet wide and 0 inches, and it is 11 feet 4 inches in depth. And that translates over here to 6 Sim squares wide and 4 Sim squares deep. That is hard to say. And it doesn't tell me what size the bath is, but by the time we finish this, we'll be able to figure out pretty much what the bath is, and you can look at it and figure it out just by the things you know you're going to have to put in there. But first of all, let's go ahead and do the kitchen. And it is 16 feet 0 inches by 11 feet 4 inches. And so we know that it is 6 squares wide and 4 squares deep. And so we know there is a little space in here, as I said, that is a little different. This is going to be interesting. We can't make an angled stairway in Sims 4, but we can use this space somehow. We don't have to make it exactly. We just kind of want to have an idea. It has a walk-in closet here, and it has a little bathroom here. So let's go ahead and plot this. This is bed 2, and that is 10 feet 0 inches by 9 feet 0 inches, which is 4 squares by 4 squares. It's, it just rounds it off. So that's a pretty good, that's a little square bedroom. And then we have bedroom 3 over here. Whoops. Bed 3 is 9 feet 4 inches by 10 feet 0 inches. Again, it ends up to be about a 4 by 4 square. And the living room over here tells me that it is 17 feet 0, whoops, let's put living in here. 17 feet 0 inches by 13 feet 8 inches, which is 7 by 5. So we know that these all go together here, 2, 3, and living room. And so that means in our width we have a 4 plus 4 is 8, and plus 7 is 15 wide. So we know that this house is plotted to be 15 squares wide. So we know that the porch is going to be that wide also. And we don't have the depth of this walk-in closet, but we have an 11.4 here and a 13.8 here, which was, let's see, that the kitchen was 5 deep by the living room was 5, so it's going to be a 15 by 10, 15 wide and 10 in depth. So that way, when you lay out these things just like this in your game, then you'll be able to put that bathroom in where it belongs. And then you can figure out all this middle part. So when I click on this window and I go to here, we can put, now see, it has bedroom 3 here, but this is, it would be bedroom 4 and bedroom 5 if you put this up on top of that. I think that was meant to go with this alternate plan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But we'll go ahead and we'll probably just make an upper floor without trying to figure this out, because it's going to be a little different when we start putting in the walls and the roof area up here. We'll just kind of figure out what works. For right now, we just want to start with this bottom floor plan. So we have the basics here, and we would normally just print that out. At least I would. And you can, like I said, you can print these out as well. Usually, in order to do that, I would right-click on this. I would view the image in a new tab like that, and then I would print that tab. But as I said, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to look at it here, and I can also make this a little bit smaller and kind of keep this handy just so I know. And I'll move it over here also, like that. And then I can kind of scroll down a little bit here. I can go back and forth pretty easily here. And normally my porch, I would usually make 3 squares, but it looks like they probably only have like 2 squares here. It doesn't give any dimensions for that, but you can make the porch as wide as you want. Like I said, we're just getting some inspiration from this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and it's actually kind of easy in most floor plans to go ahead and just do the room by room and put it together. We could do the whole 15 by 10 and add a porch, but I think I'll show you how to just go room by room. When I go over here, we want this maybe to be not quite centered. We want to maybe put it like so that it's in this area here. You have a nice backyard where maybe a pool can be added, or a little gazebo, or some trees, just a nice backyard. But we would like this house to be probably in this section right here. That's kind of what feels right to me right now. That's, you might want to put it all the way back and have all your yard out front, whatever you'd like to do. And the nice thing about Sims 4 is that once you get this done, you can pick up the whole unit and move it wherever you want. That is so cool. I love that capability. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into build, and then we're going to go to this section that says walls and empty rooms, and we'll pick up here the square room. I'm just going to go ahead and pick that up. That's probably the easiest to start with. And we know it's going to be somewhere, let's leave 1, 2, 3, 4 empty spaces there for a little walkway alongside the house to go like from the front driveway back behind, or whatever you'd want to do with that. And I'm going to pull this square out so that we know that it wanted to be 6 wide, and we can check that by going to the room converter. It's 6 by 5 for that master bedroom. So back over here, we want to have it 6 wide. And one of the things I don't like about Sims 4, although I really do like Sims 4, is that it doesn't have dimensions the way that Sims 2 ended up with dimensions and Sims 3 started with them. But you can easily count 2, 4, 6 squares. And then we know that we want the master bedroom to be 5 squares deep. So we already have 2. There's 3, 4, and 5. And so that's the basics of that master bedroom that is shown here. Now what they've done is they figured that to here, and then there is that corner cut off. We'll probably go ahead, and we know that we need to have 10 squares this way. So I think that what I'm going to do is, we know that this one's going to be a 4 by 4, and this is already now 5. So I'm going to increase that by 1 and make that 6. So that's now a 6 by 6 square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that will be the master bedroom space. Then we can do whatever we want with the attached bathroom here and a walk-in closet. And then we want to make this bedroom here per the room size converter, or you could just go by eyeing it. You don't have to have something like this to work with. I like it because it kind of just gives me a better idea. And we want that to be a 4 by 4 square. So I'm going to start again with that square, and we'll add it right next to the other bedroom here. And we're only going to make it 1 more square wide, and then bring it out just 2 more squares here. And that is a 4 by 4 square right there. Now, obviously, that's, it looks to me like in this picture here, we might want to go ahead and bring that over here 1 more square so that we can put our closets in. The closet is going to have 1 this way and 1 that way. I think this will work pretty well. Just keep your selector tool and then pull that out 1 more. And then the other bedroom here, it also said was a 4 by 4. So we'll start with that, and then we'll just kind of see how it may need to adjust. Like, keep in mind, again, like I said, so we can turn this around, we can look at this more easily. Our house plan, our floor plan is an inspiration, and we're not going to be able to do all the things that are in there. We could make the angles, but we can't make the stairway at an angle. And that little lavatory there could actually probably be done. We might attempt that. That might be a little bit difficult to actually get worked in, but we could try it. But that leaves like this little empty space here that is kind of odd. It just seems to me like this whole plan doesn't use the space really well. Kind of cute, but maybe not the most practical. Now, this says that we want this one to be, and let's look at that room size converter again. The living room needs to be 7 by 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and plot that out there just like that right next to this, and we'll see how that looks, because it may need to be a little more than that. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, and again I'm going to turn this and go to 5, which is, whoops, I didn't get a hold of the arrow. There we go. Right there to 5. And so that we're going to have this is all going to be hallway space out here. And I'm thinking, again, do we have 15? We know that we basically want to have 15 out here. So what we have is we have 5, and 4 is 9, and 7 is 16. 16 is good. That works for me. It's close enough. And we have a bedroom here that could be changed a little bit. Let's just go ahead and leave it this way and put the kitchen up here. The nice thing about doing these is that you're not static. You don't have to stay exactly with what it calls for here in the plan. And let's say we know that this was supposed to be, I need to go back here and look. The kitchen is 6 by 5. So already I have actually it looks like we have 6. 1, 2, 3, no, we have 5 there. Okay. And we want to go, whoops, pull the arrow 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that would make the bathroom 4 squares wide. And looking at this, looks to me like this actually should come out a little bit more. And our spreadsheet is not going to be totally accurate, so it's just going by the basics of what a Sims square would be according to real footage. So looking at this bathroom, it looks to me like it is maybe 4 squares wide though. So because we have the counter space, and it looks like a space here between the counter and the toilet, and then a bathtub. So that would be 4 squares wide. So okay, we can do this. Then what we'll do is we'll move this back here. Actually, we could have just moved the room, because what I'm going to do, we'll just move this room over here, pick it up like that and move it, and extend this bedroom out so that it is actually the same size as the other bedroom. And I think that was going to fit pretty well. So then we can have a bathroom in here that looks to me like we want to make it, that's 2 spaces there. And let's just say we'll put our washer and dryer, which we can't do in The Sims 4 yet. I'm pretty sure that they'll add it in since that was very popular in The Sims 3. There's a little closet it shows here, but let's just go ahead and make this a 4x4 bathroom. So we'll just take this space here again and pull that out that way, and then pull it out this way, and that is going to leave us with the space in the middle. We'll go ahead and fill that with one of these. Now if we take this and again bring the walls up and just right there like that, and you kind of look at it, you can see that that's your basic floor plan. Now we did not obviously do this place in the middle here, and so we have a small hallway here. Now we need to make that adjusted so that it will work with all these rooms. And we know that we want a bathroom in here, and then we want to have a stairway out here, and we need to have let's see, we could actually, what we could do is we can make that a little wider by moving. You could either pick up the bathroom like this, which might be easier from this angle, and move it, and that'll bring that hallway wall out with it. And so we'll just make the bathroom a 3x4, and that will leave plenty of room in there. Actually, we could actually make it only just a 2x4, because bathtub, toilet, counter space with sink, let's just do that. We'll just do that. Okay, there we go. I love it because it's so flexible. And then we have our hallway. We have enough room here to put in a stairway. We can we can do this angle with the kitchen if we wanted to, but that might make this just a little bit difficult here. So instead of that, I think what we'll do is we'll just bring this wall. Let's just take the wall like this, and let's say that we go from here to here with the kitchen, and that that might be just a little bit. Let's undo that and put the wall here like this. And then I'm going to actually I think I will move this wall here, make the living space a little smaller. I'll just make it so that it matches up here with the bedroom. And then make this, since we'll probably put an archway in here, I think we'll just take out the little wall entry that's here, and I'm going to shift this around so you can see it. Just take out these 2 wall spaces here like this, so that it becomes the kitchen, dining, hallway here all become open. And actually we want that to be open to the living room as well. So why not? Since they've planned an archway in here, why don't we just take that wall out? And I'm going to take the 2 end pieces out like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull here and just take that out like that. And then we'll just take a look at it. So we can put our kitchen in here, right in this little area here, a nice little cubby hole kitchen. It has it's 4 deep there, and that leaves plenty of room for everything, I think. We can actually make this maybe let's make it 1 square wider than that. And then we have plenty of room for a dining room in here, little dining area, and living room here. And then we can go into, this is the front door entry right here. And then we can go into the hallway, and we can put a stairway up from here. And what we need here is to open this up here. Let's just take this and set one of those in there like that. And then we'll just do a little more operating on that. Take out that wall space, and then we can make doors into this bedroom, a door into this bedroom, and a door into this bedroom very easily. Okay, and then we have space to, let's just say we'll put a washer and dryer in there. We can just put a little extra counter in there that can kind of look like a washer and dryer. We have a laundry basket that we could put in there. We'll just leave that space open, and then there would be the small bathroom right here. And I may change my mind again and make that a little bigger. No, I like that idea. We'll just leave that alone. And so rather than have all the angles, we opened that up and made a regular entryway. So I want to go ahead and plot the top floor without doing any more designing down here at the bottom at this point. So the first thing I'm going to do that is to go in, and right now I'm just going to use some basic stairs, and you can replace the stairs anytime very easily in The Sims 4. Alright, I want to turn them around, and you use the key, I don't know what you call them. It's the caret keys, I think it is. It's not a caret. Anyway, it's the ones that go like the little triangle sideways that are on your period and your comma keys. I don't want it to be turned this way. I want the bottom of the stairs to be at the living room side. And I think we'll bring it back one square over here like this. And that tells me then that it can go up to the next floor. So we page up, it made an opening there, and it brought in some light down there is what it did. So we know where the stairs are now. So we can use this basic idea here. We know that we do want the dormer windows to come out here in the front, but let's just take a look at this, the picture of the house itself. It doesn't give me, actually it does, right here on the side. It gives you an idea of kind of what it is. It looks like the windows for the bedrooms are here at the end. Let's look at that. Click on that and it'll bring it up here. So the windows are at the ends here, and this is living room or dining room window down here. I think I'll put a few more windows in it. I like a house with lots of windows. And then the dormers that go into the bedrooms upstairs are up here. And they have also a different kind of a dormer with a half gable roof there at the back. So we'll go ahead and let's place a couple of bedrooms up here, and we need to be able to put, I need to look at that one again, that one right there. We need to be able to put a roof here next to the bedroom that then joins with the roof that will be on top of the bedroom. If you just put this in here like this and try to put a room in here, you're going to have difficulty with inside and outsides of the walls. So we know that we're going to use a half gable roof in this section, and we're going to use a full gable roof at the top. And we'll build this chimney to go with the fireplace downstairs separately. But right now we're going to just go ahead and let's see, do we want to put some, let's scroll down here. We could put, they used, oh, that's what the dormer is in the back. Off of the stairwell here, they put a bathroom back here that then has a separate little roof on it. So let's go ahead and plot that out. It can be a really nice, it doesn't have to be that small. They have an open balcony going down to below, and that's a little hard to deal with in The Sims 4 at this point. So we'll kind of avoid doing that. We'll have a hallway and going to the bathroom right out there. So I'm going to go back to the rooms again, the walls and empty rooms. And I think we'll just use this room tool here and draw the rooms this way. Let's do this. Let's put this room all the way around the stairwell like that. And once again, I'm going to use the end key and take the walls down, so we're just looking at a flat floor plan here. We don't have any lights in there yet, but you can see the stairwell in there. And then I think from there, because you come up here and we can make it so that the door will go into this bedroom. Let's make this bedroom all the way out to the edge on this side, and then out to here like this. so that it is going to be, and this bedroom over on this side will be slightly larger. We'll just do the same thing with that, and we'll use that space so that we have the same size here and the same size out here from, actually we'll need to pull that out a little bit further, because when using the half roofs we need to make them match to match up with the top roof correctly. So, whoops, grab a hold of that arrow. There we go. So that's okay. We'll use that, and then we'll go ahead and put the bathroom out there. We can go ahead and increase this space to do that right there, and then we'll pull this bathroom together right there. So as you can see, there are plenty of ways to build your rooms in The Sims 4, which I just totally love. I love how modular it is. So from this hallway, we will need to have a door into the bedroom, or excuse me, into the bathroom, and we'll need to have a doorway into this bedroom and a doorway into this bedroom. With this arrangement the way it is here, we have several different options as well. But first of all, before I get to that, I'm going to go ahead and put the dormers out here. We'll do that here. And we do want to have those evenly spaced. So maybe, see, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we'll have them evenly spaced and go like that. We can still have the bedroom bigger on this side. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Use the escape key if you do something like that. Start to put in a room that you don't want there. Okay, so then that is our basic upstairs. I'm going to use the home and the page key to go up and see what that looks like. I think we'll be able to make that work. I'm thinking probably what I want to do, and you can look at it this way, is increase this out here so that we don't have any problems with the half gable roof that I want to put in here. And so what I want to do now is, now that we have those basics in, is go ahead and set in a basic roof. And we'll go back and we'll look at this again. I'm going to look at the front view. There we go. And oh, I forgot to plot the porch. Let's do that first. I'm going to look at those walls and empty rooms again. Whoops, I was already on there. And I'm going to scroll down until I see one with a porch on it. So I'm going to use, I don't want diagonal, I want a square deck right there. And it is going to be, now I can't see the grid down there until I go down to that level, and I'd like to look at the grid in this case. It is also a 2 by 2. So I want to make that the whole front width, and I think I would like to make it 3 squares deep. And that already puts in, we'll click off of that, it puts in a basic railing which you can change at any time by going to your fences, choosing something entirely different, and just changing it just like that. So easy. Or you can draw it in, whatever you want to do. But for now, we'll just leave that alone. We just want to know where it is. Oh, and we also, I think, as you can see in this picture, we want maybe 3 steps on here. So we're going to go to the foundation tool here, and we're going to pull that up. 1, 2, 3. And that will give us just about the right space to have stairs put in there. And we'll just use those same basic stairs. Since I know I use this one, that'll be fine. Or I could go in here with the eyedropper, and I could pick that one up right there, and we'll just pull it over here. Now I personally like to make my stairs back in here like this, so that they come right up like that on the outside, and it just looks nicer to me that way. But you don't have to. You can put your stairs on out here and make them so that they're an extension of the porch, however you want to do it. But I personally like to bring them back like that. Or you could even take a piece of that out with a sledgehammer and put your stairs back further than that. You know, it's so nice. They're just up to you. We don't actually know where these want to go yet. We do want the door, it looks like here on this picture. Let's look at the floor plan again. Let's scroll down here. Oop. And okay, so that was 7, and how many did we make it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We ended up with 7 wide, and the door is set in by 1, and we could use a door that uses up 2 spaces to make this pretty door like this. So we're going to need the porch then to be extended out another space past the door, and probably a space past into the bedroom. So let's move these stairs over here so that they're sitting in this last space of the bedroom, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3. Let's just make it that wide. So that is a nice step area to go up to the door, and if you want to see how that looks, you can actually go put the door in right now. That's completely up to you. We don't know what colors we want or anything, but let's just pick a nice style for the door right now. How about this one here? We'll just go with white for the moment. And we know that we want see, that is too wide, so we're going to, not too wide, it is 2 squares wide, and it is set over by 1, and we want the door to open the other way. As you can see right here, this door would open up to the right side, and the picture over there that you can see on the left shows it open the other way, so we just use that the key again that turns things around, and all you got to do is hit it once and do that, and you have your door in place. I know the colors look a little strange. We're going to go to afternoon so you can kind of see more what the colors are. Although it is kind of hard to tell sometimes in Sims 4. The lighting is a little different than what we're used to in our other Sims games. So there's a nice wide porch. We can put columns on here. This shows you in the plan where the columns are, and we can do that later. Right now I'm going to concentrate on going back up, and let's try to get this roof on here, very similar to what it shows here. This front porch here has a you know what, I need to check how high these walls are first. They're the short walls. That's what I want. We need to choose this roof unit here and put a roof over it. Now if you want to be able to go inside and look like this when you're taking pictures of your Sims and see a ceiling up here on the porch, right now you can't. All you can see is air, even if there is the roof on there. So what we will do is we'll take another foray into this walls and empty rooms, and we'll use these flat squares here, and we'll go up here and we'll place that. We need to go up where I can see, where I can see the grid. There we go. And it is a 3 by 3 square, which works out really well. We're going to put it right over the top of the porch like this and give that porch a ceiling. One more square. And it doesn't show up as anything except floor when you look at it in this view, which gives the covered porch there. And then we'll put the half gable roof out here, and it's going to be brought down very low. But before we place that half gable roof, we need to look at this again here. You can see that that's what that is right here over the porch. It's just a half gable roof. We also want to again put the half gable roof in here to come up in this little area here. And we're not going to be able to make it look exactly like this, but we can get a good take on it, I think. So I want to take these walls out here so that these become full units. Because now if you click on the floor here, it shows you that this full shape is the unit. Otherwise you'd have it in 2 pieces, and that makes it more difficult to deal with the roof. Okay, we're going to click on the roof, and we're going to choose the half gable roof right here, and we're going to turn it around and stick it right in. Actually, we need to move it here so that the edges, we could do this either way. You could sit it here, which we'll do right now, and move it back 1 square. And that's what we want to do there. And we want it to come all the way up to the top of the wall. So we're going to go ahead and click until it goes right there. And then we're going to take and we're going to, we only want to move these top eaves and not the bottom ones. So I'm going to hold my shift key down and just move that down so that it goes to the wall there. And that's showing a little bit of the wall through it. So I think we need to, I don't want to go up one more whole click. I'm going to hold the Alt key, and I'm going to go up just a little until that shows that it takes out that little bit of the wall there. And that may not match up right, but right now it looks good. So we'll go by that, and we can always change it later on. I want to look at that front again. Here we go. Look at the front picture. There we go. All right. To make this easier for my eye, I'm going to go ahead and put these little the little dormers on there also. I'm going to go up where I can see the top, and I'm going to use the gabled roof. It helps if you get it in your hand. And I'm going to turn it, and it is too wide. This time it is TOO wide. I'm going to decrease that like that. And I think we'll probably have to pull it we'll put it about, make sure it's at least halfway back like that. And we'll leave everything else about it alone for the moment. I'm going to put another one up here, get a hold of it, and put it there. Make it 1 square less wide, and we'll make it deep like that, just like the other one is. And so then we know where the dormers are going to go there. Now this shows the roof coming out here in front of the dormers. So actually, what I think we need to do is to pull that room back. There we go, 1 square, like that, and pull that one back 1 square, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and just pull this half gable roof all the way across, because it does want to be in front of the dormers like that. So then we'll do one on the other side. We'll need to change the roof size too. That looked a little weird. Just push that back like that. Oop, too far. Undo. Or I could just move it again. There, just 1 square, and I did the same wrong with this one. Just 1 square. Right there. Okay. And now that comes out. It looks a little different than that, but it's an approximation. It's what we can do in The Sims 4, and that looks okay for now. And if you go down using your page down, you can see that you can see entirely inside of here, because the roof made a cutout for the dormers since they already had the roof on the top of them. It might not show exactly the same if you hadn't put the roof on there, but as soon as you put the roofs on there, then it would show. So now I want to go back down where I can see this grid here. And by the way, if you want to take the grid off at any time to see what it looks like, you just push your G key and no more grid. And the grid always stays on the level at which you are looking. So if I look down at the bottom levels, I don't see the grid. It only is on the level where I have raised it with my page up key. Okay, so now, and I'm using the TS3 controls, by the way. So whatever you do on yours to move things around might look a little different than what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to put this half gable roof here. I'm going to go back down there, and I'm going to start it over here, turn it around, and put it in here. And it looks like it's just the right depth, but we definitely want to pull that down. We're going to pull it down until it meets there. Whoop. You can see where the white line met there. And let's take a look at that and see how it looks. I think that's going to look pretty nice, actually. That looks like it's just about right. And we'll pull it all the way over here, like that. And voila, we have that gable roof right in there. Now we could go ahead and pull these. I'm going to get a hold of that roof again, and I'm going to do just exactly what I didn't hold the shift key because I don't care. The top and the bottom both get pulled up. Because of the way that is underneath there, that looks better that way. We'll look at that side view again here. Wait, let's look at this one. The side view. It doesn't show anything going down here, but there's nothing I can do about that in The Sims 4. It is going to have that showing like that, and that is okay. That's not a problem. Okay, so now what we need to do is to do the same roof on this side over here that we did on the other side. And that's the half gable. Set in here. It's easier to look at from the side. Okay, turn it around. One more. Put it here. Bring it in 1 square. Bring it out here so we can see that. And bring that up again. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a shift key and do the top eaves here, because these look better hanging down now on this side. And again, we want to take that little bit out here, so I'm going to hold the Alt key and come up just that little bit until it shows that it made that change. And look at it. No, I think maybe I went a little too far with that, because you can see over here that it just barely comes to the top, and I went over with it here. So let's take that back down just a tad. The Alt key is so nice. I think that did it. Whoop, don't want to hold that. Yes, that looks like it matches the other side. We can always change it, adjust it as we go. Again, I'm going to hold that roof, and I'm going to pull that. Oh, I can't see that. I have to get over here where I can see it. Pull that over to the edge this way. And then we're going to use, now we can go up and look at the top of it here, and that's how it looks at this point. So we can stand up in the bathroom here, and out here in the bedrooms, you can stand up all the way out to the windows where the dormers are. And that is good. And so now we need to lay in the top roof, which is this part here. Now, obviously this isn't going to be quite the same because they have a window that goes way up here into the roof, and that isn't going to work for us in The Sims 4. But we can do this. It will look a little different, but it'll be similar. And so we're going to put on a full gable roof here. We're going to set it here, pull it all the way over to the edge of this space here, and then go ahead and pull it all the way over to here. Now, because we put this on separately, and now we're going to have to do some adjusting, as you can see, we need to make this match here. But I'm just going to show you that because we put that up there, you can go down, you see here, and you can see into the rooms. Now, if we had just put that whole roof here, which you could do, it would confuse the inner walls with the outside walls, and it would only show parts of these rooms. The parts that are under dormers would not be able to be seen. So we separate the roof out into the two parts like this. And I can see that we're going to have to, we need to have this angle here for these. So it's the top roof that we're going to have to change. And in order to make the roof match up, we're going to have to go up with this roof and make it a little bit more peaked and watch the eaves come down at the same time. And when they look like they have a white line that overlaps, let's see if we got that really close. It needs to be, now we need to adjust the bottom ones because that angle looks right. As you can see, they look like they're next to each other there. We'll have to probably do a little changing on both parts. We're going to bring this one up just a little. Let's try to see if that matches. I'll click away from it out here. Oh, actually, I think that did pretty well. You can, when you get up close, you can see a little difference there. But it looks like the shingles look good. Maybe it's just off a little bit. It's not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and make this just a slight bit more peaked, I think. Just a little. Oh, if I can. There we go. Just like that. And let's see if that matches a little better. No, that's too much. It's too much. Yeah. Okay, bring it back down. I'm going to use the Alt key to give it a little bit more of an adjustment. And now we'll see how it looks. I think that's probably about as close as it's gonna get. Look at it again out here. It looks like it goes together pretty smoothly. There's a little bit of an adjustment there that needs to be made. Okay, let's do that. And hold the Alt key. And I think maybe we need to come up just a little. Maybe I'm wrong about that. No, I should have gone down instead. It's just, you have to just play with it a little bit until you get it looking the way you want it. I think that's just right. Okay, then we're going to do the same on this side, and because this is all one piece, that makes it easier. If you had it in partial length, it would be hard. There, we got that one right away. That looks good. And when you take off the grid, no, it needs to come up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hold the Alt key, just the teensiest bit. And I think that looks good. Maybe not. Nope, I went too far. So, yeah, you just kind of have to get picky about it. Just keep looking at it, keep eyeballing it, keep trying it. And sometimes you have to settle. Okay. Maybe... still, it doesn't look quite right. I think I maybe still have this a little bit too peaked. Just a little bit there. Okay. And that means that I've got to make a little bit more of an adjustment on this side. Just that little tiny bit, and that's, I'm going to call that good. You know, I may look at it later and say, oh man, I need to make another adjustment. But usually the little adjustments work themselves out. Yeah, it is. I'm going to have to do it just a little bit more, looking at it from another angle. Just try to move it just a little tiny bit. Oop, I'm not using the Alt key, I'm using the wrong key. But I think I got it. No, Alt key. I was using the Shift key and that didn't work. Alt gives you just a little easier, smoother adjustment. Oh, okay, not quite. Oops, I went too far. I know I did. I don't know. Actually, that looks pretty good. No. I'm very picky about my roofs. Just make my mouse move just a hair. Too much. Oop. Come on, I can do it. There we go. Right there. That's where I want it. Got it. Call it good. Okay. All right, so there we have the basics of the roof. And as you can see from this end, we didn't put the back half gable on yet. Let's do that first, and then we'll look at that end. I have the half gable here, and it's easier to adjust from the outside, I think. Pull that in right there, right there, and pull it down until it just matches. Pull it over till it's as far as it needs to be on this side, and voila. That's how the back is supposed to look. And if you look at it from this angle, we're pretty close. You know, like I said, we can't take that mark in there the way the eaves are away, but that is really, really close. It's a little taller, you know, than it looks in this picture, but that's just because that's the way the Sims 4 and probably the Sims 2 and Sims 3 are going to have to be just about that much too. Now, the one thing that I think I'll change in this, and looking at it here from the front, is let's make these a little bit more peaked. Let's bring them up just a little bit, like that, and that was like 2, because we do have a higher peak to the other roof, and that looks a little bit better to me. And I'm just eyeballing it, and you know, that might not look right to you. Whatever looks right to you is what's important. I haven't done for quite a while, but I have done oil painting by the wet on wet technique, using Bob Ross's technique. And he's deceased now, but he used to say, this is your world, you can do with your world what you want, and you have happy accidents. So I feel the same way about when I'm building in The Sims. I have a lot of happy accidents. It's like, oh, hey, that looks pretty cool. That wasn't what I meant to do, but I think I'll go with that. Okay, so I'm pretty much finished with this floor plan. I have the basics in that I wanted. It gave me some inspiration to make a 2-story house that ends up with 5 bedrooms and 2 baths. It's like I have a check in my spirit about that with just 2 baths. But I'm going to go ahead and close this site now. And yes, I do. I want to close that. I'm not going to save it. That just gave me my beginnings. So I'll discard that. And I'll go ahead and bring my window out all the way so we can see a little bit bigger window here. I love that about The Sims 4. It is so flexible to be able to just view your world in any way that you want. So I'm not going to do much more with this because I just wanted you to see those kind of things. And another tutorial might be how to plan your windows and all that kind of stuff, because I will put the windows in where I want them to be. And I've already changed the inside the way I wanted it to be. And there's the second floor. One of the things that I just said, put a little check in my spirit. It's like, okay, we have 5 bedrooms and only 2 bathrooms. That to me seems not big enough. So since we have a bigger bedroom up here, let's go ahead and give it its own bathroom. And it will just be an in-suite bathroom. And I'll go ahead, and you always want to have at least a 3x2. And since we have more room out this way, now we're going to have windows out on this end here. So let's go ahead, we can just do it on this side right over here. Let's get where we can see the grid. Wait, okay, grid. I think I turned the grid off. There we go. I just want to see the grid. And do a 3x2 bathroom right in here. And that is big enough to be an in-suite bathroom. And we can put a door in right here. I always like to make my doors so that they open up against the wall or against something that isn't going to get just walked through. Let's see. This is a little fancier. We might use some windows with it that have an arc in it, an arch rather, and instead of just square lines. So I'll turn that around and put the door so that it opens up, as you can see here, against the wall in here and against the wall here, and then the Sims won't walk through it. And out here, if we use the door in the center, which we could do, we would want to make it open up against a counter on one side or against the toilet that faces the other way, something like that. But probably with this long of a bathroom, you could just put your door over here, and we have plenty of space to put one of the doors. Let's use that same door here. We'll put this door here again so that it opens the other direction. Turn that around. There we go. And then we'll put the door on this side here so that it comes in this side of the bedroom here. And then that leaves plenty of room to put the doorway into that bathroom, which can be a communal bathroom. It can be used for, let's say this is the guest room here, and but also other people that come to visit the house. If you just need an extra bathroom, they can come right up the stairs and use the bathroom out here in the hall. Okay, and let's see. Another thing we want to do is put railings around here just real quickly. Let's find out what railing is on that basic porch. I kind of like that railing actually. It is the contrast wooden fencing. So we'll go ahead and use that same railing up here around the top of the stairs. And we need the contrast wooden fencing right there. And we know that it comes up here. So, and we want to choose the tool that says place fences by drawing. And we'll go this way and this way, so there's a walkway at the end, although we could just go to the end and then you'd have to come off this way. But this way you can walk all the way around the stairs to get to all the doors that you need to. And that looks pretty good, I think. So that's what I'm going to do upstairs right now, and then we'll go downstairs and make sure that let's see, let's put a railing on here instead of making we could actually put a wall there. And I'm kind of rethinking this area here right now, but because that's kind of a, make it a hard path to follow. But I'm going to go ahead and put a railing on there, and I think it's called something different in here. Square post railing, that is the one that goes with that. And why they didn't name it the same thing, I'll never know. It's The Sims. Now when you start painting your walls, obviously you want to paint that. It has an outdoor siding on it right now, but you can just paint it whatever way you paint your inside walls. You can do your outside walls any way you want. I'm not going to go that far with this. I just wanted to get the basics in to show you how to use a floor plan to lay out what you want. Okay, so let's do what I said. Let's rethink this just a little bit here. I'm going to move this wall in here just a little bit. And since we did that, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and just move that bathroom wall out here to make a bigger one down here. Because then that way it can have a door into it from here. And it actually could have a door into it from the kitchen and still have bathroom space in here. So that's kind of handy that way. Maybe not from the kitchen, though, because this is the master bath. We need another bathroom downstairs. Now, I don't know why they didn't plan that in that house plan, because you have the master bathroom, 2 bedrooms down here that don't have a bathroom. So they are big enough to have their own bathrooms. They can just have a half bath. Well, no, they would actually need to have a little bit bigger than that. And let's see, if they have single beds in them, that would work. Let's just go ahead and do that. I love this. I love being able to just be totally flexible and plan what I want to happen in my bedrooms. As you know, probably know at least, a Sims bed is only 1 square wide, and it is 3 squares long. No, that actually takes up more space than I want. What do I want to do here? Okay, I know what it was that they had here. Wait, undo. They did have another bathroom down here. They had that corner bathroom on here. So instead of putting bathrooms on those bedrooms, whoops, I used the single wall tool there. Now as you can see, that then becomes a single unit whenever you divide off like that. So we'll just put that there, and then the walk-in closet will be here, and we can put an archway in there. We'll go do that. We'll just grab a double wide archway, which would be probably, let's do this with just the square. Oh, you know, like I said, we were going to use maybe some arches. Why not do that? We'll go in here, just put an archway right into the walk-in closet, which for the Sims use is a little easier. And then we had it was designed, it had closets here. So we'll put those in too. Again, we'll just zip in a little wall. Since the door needs to go into here, we'll put a closet here on this side, and we'll put a closet here on this side. And again, then on this, we'll pick up that archway again, that same archway, and we'll do that there. And we'll do one here, and then you can put shelves in there. You can put your bureau in there. You know, just make it look like a closet. Make it usable in that way by putting your chest of drawers in there. Okay, and then the door for this room can be off the entry. It could actually be right here by the main entry. So we'll go back and pick up that same door that we used for upstairs, this one here. And so that bedroom can be reached right there. And this one is going to be a little more difficult. Why don't we, instead of doing that, let's take the wall again. Put the wall all the way here like this. And you can either do what we used to do and hold down the control key and then use your wall drawer and do it like that, or you could use the sledgehammer, whichever is more convenient to you. So that just makes a little doorway there. That just kind of, I don't really, I'm fussy about these kind of things. So if we put that doorway then here, right there, so that the door opens the other direction, it will open up against this wall and against that wall. They'll come down the hallway here and go into the doorway here, and that looks good. And you could put, a dresser. Well, we don't have any one-space dressers, I don't think yet. We probably will have down the line. A chair could sit there. Or one of the bathroom cabinets that fits in a corner like that. You can do whatever you want in that corner. And then there is room in here to put in maybe a couple of single beds. One could actually go there, and one could go here. You can arrange that however you like. If you wanted to, you could actually even bring this bedroom out a little further this way into the porch area. And you wouldn't have to redesign the roof at all for that. You could just pull it out here like this, and let's take a look and see what happens with the roof. Because it is underneath roof, it is just fine. You don't have to rearrange anything there at all. And this looks funny here because it has the roof over the top. If you want to, you can actually pull those eaves up a little bit there. It won't make any difference because it already has a roof over the top. That's just the way it looks. On the outside, with all the roofs up, it looks just fine. So there we go. So that way you get a little bit of a change in your wall here. It just kind of gives a little added dimension to the porch. In fact, if you wanted to, you could bring the whole bedroom unit out that way. We can actually make the closet wider also, like that. And if you did that, you probably would want to shorten your stairs to here and make that. Then you have a nice little porch here and a little bit larger. You could probably put a little picnic table out there if you wanted to, or, outdoor dining table. And let's see. So then you probably would want to move this here, and that'll move well, that took the door out, but that's okay. We'll just add it back in again. And we'll pick up that wall and move it, which is so cool that you can do that. Move the door this way. Get the eyedropper tool, pick up your arch. There you go. And you have the closets and everything in a nice usable manner. And you could actually put the head, you could change it around and put the closets over here, and put the head of the bed over here. You could change these walls around any way you want there and make them more handy for what you think your house should look like. But there we have the basic design, and we have a little less of a problem here. I think maybe instead of doing that wall there, let's just leave that all open. Let's take that wall out and leave this open here. And instead of putting a kitchen that kind of goes around this way, we'll put a kitchen that goes only on here like this, and then we can put an island here that could have chairs by it, or whatever works. The dining room might want to be on this side and the kitchen on this side. That would seem a little more practical to me, I think. So yeah, so there you have the basics from a floor plan. You got some inspiration. We have a house that looks really cute, has a nice roof line. You could change it by changing the way the dormers look. You could make the dormers on the front look like that. You could make all the dormers look like this. Whatever you want to do. And I was going to show you how to move the whole unit. Let's say we think it's a little too close to the front right now. I have the select thing, and if I just do this, it would just select one unit. But instead, I'm going to push the U key, and then when I hit this again, it picks up the entire house like that, everything that's contiguously put together with units. And I use this, and it stays there until you move it, but let's just say we want to have it not centered exactly, but we want to move it back a little and a little bit more to the right, and there we go. The whole house has been moved. Just push the U key again, and you're back to individual units. I love that aspect of building in The Sims 4. So there we go. That is the end of the tutorial about how to use a floor plan to give you some inspiration so that you can build houses that are maybe a little more complicated than anything you've tried to date. After completing the main part of the tutorial, I decided to add this little bit to show you what can happen after you get your main structure done. As you know, I already had made changes here and there as I was going along, and I made a few more when I was getting the whole thing landscaped and furnished and decorated. I did add the columns in on the porch, which we had talked about but not done, and I did add a fireplace inside the living room and added on a chimney, and I kept the whole color scheme with this house in a light green with white, and so the chimney is done with a stucco paint, which I think looks really nice, but it is the same colors as the other tones that were used in the paints and the sidings. Then on the back, I'll show you that first before I go inside. I just added things to the porch, which gave it an outdoor meal area and a place to sit and play chess. And I added in trees here and a bench over there underneath the big trees, and here is a fountain out here that has just some more flowers. So I kept the landscaping pretty simple, but just kind of prettied it up a little bit. I decided not to add a pool, but there is probably room for one if somebody wanted to add that. And on the upper floor, let's go take a look at the upper floor. We have pretty much the same layout that I left you with at the end of the tutorial. I did move the stairs over. I'll show you downstairs what I did with the little entryway area there, little hallway. I moved the stairs over one space so that they butt up against this wall, and as the Sims come up, they can either go into the master bedroom, which I decided would be upstairs rather than downstairs, or the children's bedroom, which is here, and then there is the bathroom that can be used by anyone that's in the house. All the bathrooms are very similar. They have some kind of a bath and shower. They have the country toilet. They use the same counters here that I used downstairs. I put in some clutter, but I left it very free of wall decorations in most areas. Just a little bit of this and that here and there to show what can be done. Here's the master bathroom right here. It's just a fairly small one, but there are bigger bathrooms downstairs that can be used also. I spent more time making the bedroom a nice place for the adults in the family to kind of get away from the kids, relax. They have their own TV up here, and I did put in both of the upstairs bedrooms. The dressers are here by the windows that have a view out. Let's see if we can get in here like this. There we go. Whoops. Okay, there's a view out the window that is nice, and just fits very nicely in there as a nice little accent. Okay, downstairs, my sim that I took out of household management and did a little bit of alterations with to make her the way I wanted her. Uh, Changed her traits a little bit and had her mostly wear green clothes so that she kind of, since this is her house, it's her favorite colors. So the living room is here, as we knew it was going to be. I did add the fireplace in here, added some bookcases. Yes, those look like china cupboards, but they are actually bookcases on the sides here. And I did some creative lighting using move objects. I'm so glad they gave us move objects back. I am not in live mode now, I'm in build mode, so I'm going to show you what I've done. Like behind here, there are lights behind the cabinets, and I always put fire alarms. Of course, we don't have firemen yet. I also, on the outside, have put the fire sprinkler system. Let's see, where did I put it? Over here by the fireplace. Kind of just seemed to fit in there a little better. I had it on the back porch, but it seemed to fit in there better. As you can see, I used windows that do have arches, except for the kitchen windows. And I used the little round windows for the bathrooms and for the upper attic areas as accents. Just kind of used basically the same windows all the way around and just kind of tried to give it some added interest to the main structure. Now, the big change that I made was that I decided I did want to have some of the angles in there that were originally on the floor plan. And although you can't use angled stairs, we never have been able to in The Sims, and I don't know why they make everything else angled now so easily. Why couldn't they have angled the stairs as well? It just kind of irks me that they haven't done that. But anyway, I moved the stairs forward, as I said, and I did have a bigger rug in here at one point, and I didn't like it. Was that big patchwork quilt type of a rug, and it just kind of looked overly busy. So I went with a more muted one, and the rug did kind of come right up to where the stairs go up, but I changed that, and I like the way this looks. So I have a little accent table over here, and you go straight up the stairs here. And what I did to get the angled look in here was use angled entries to all the rooms. And I decided to connect this bedroom to this bathroom, and also have a hall entry. And this bathroom is connected to that bedroom, and it also has a hall entry. And then this room, instead of being a bedroom, became the office or den. And I've kept all the colors pretty much the same, and I don't always decorate all of my houses in all the same colors, but I was trying to get this done a little bit faster, and I decided it would just be a nice, pleasant, soft minty green that could then be changed if anybody wants to, because I'm going to offer the house on my gallery. Let's take a look here and see Beverly as she is enjoying her house. The house is going to be listed under lindawing. That's my username for Origin, and you'll be able to download it on the gallery under floor plan tutorial house. She likes to cook. She's a foodie, so she's watching the food channel so she can get extra skills, and I think she's already a 3. I have thoroughly play tested this house. She has done everything in the house there is to do. She has used all the bathrooms, she has used all the dressers, she has used the bookcases, she has used the computers. Everything works. There is no problem with any kind of routing. It's very easily accessible to everything. And so since she's a foodie, we'll have her go over here right now just real quickly and cook. And she will make, let's see, what can she make? How about some chips and salsa for a single serving, because she does not yet have the family that she really wants to have. So she's just going to cook singly. She was an even chunkier lady in the household management, but I cut her down just a little bit, and I gave her some room to eat and enjoy her food. Oops, looks like she cut her thumb a little bit. But as you can see, the counters work. And she's enjoying her cooking, and she has plenty of room, and even with all the clutter that's there, she can do everything she needs to do in her nice kitchen. So with that, we'll just leave Beverly in her new house, and I want to thank you again for watching, and I hope that you will download the house to go with to go with the tutorial. And goodbye for now.